Hey, what's up, Lucid Crew? Welcome back to YouTube. I'm Lucid Rob. Today we're going to watch more videos you send me from all around the internet to talk about the weirdest stuff possible. It's just things I don't know if it's true or not, but you send me the videos, so we're going to watch them, then we're going to talk about them.
What the world simulation. I come from the Paroma with the real God.
Okay.
I know who the real God is. They tricked us. They stole 4,000 years from us.
They did? How did they do
It's just
that?
5,000.
We might need the handheld, Nate, for a little bit of this interview. We'll just wait, but you might need to be on it. So you're telling me,
It's just 5,006.
I know you're here trying to act because you're probably...
I'm not acting.
You're acting.
What the acting for?
Yeah, and you know...
Stop playing on me.
And I know you're trying...
They got me locked in prison.
Yeah, no,
My body in
you're
prison,
acting.
gang.
I know this game, because listen, I'm mentally ill too, so...
I'm not mentally ill, gang.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's spirits. Mentally ill is spirits. You can cure those. All you gotta do is am lying. That's what I want.
I feel there's probably a better way to relay that information than to come across as an absolutely insane, unhinged person. But, you know, it could be, a psyop thing. It could be, something to discredit. What is it? Fucking, I don't know. What do you guys call me? Controlled opposition. It could be that, It could be, like, placed in there to make it all sound crazy and unbelievable. But if you're actually trying to present some information and, like, get some stuff across to get people to understand, like, the bigger picture of some nefarious shit that's going on, act normal. That's why nobody takes, like, hyper fucking sensitive, crazy, politically fanatic people seriously. Because it's just like, you sound like an idiot. It's actually a really good question. So if the Anunnaki was, let's say, the first story ever shared, the Sumerian tablets, it would make sense for, every story after to have derived from that, to some extent. But like back then, there wasn't the internet. So how did that information spread across the entire earth? I mean, through boats over thousands of years, hundreds of years, whatever, through just people traveling to different countries and continents and sharing these stories? Or was it a little faster? Were these people in contact with the same beings? The same Anunnaki beings come here and drop down to like every major continent and tell people tales. I don't know. That's the story, right? That's the mystery.
So you've heard the prophecy about Trump being the last president, right? And you heard the prophecy about Pope Francis being the last pope? So what is up with this last president, last pope thing? I'm not one to believe in the end times, but all we hear about are prophecies about the last president, prophecies about the last pope, Armageddon, the apocalypse. Both do not mean the end of the world. They mean the beginning of the new world. So when I see different people like Saint Malachi, Nostradamus, and everybody else that is a prophet, Baba Vanga, Dolores Cannon, there is not one person that did not prophesize the Antichrist, Jesus returning. It's like the serpent that is biting its tail off. It's the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. But this is the thing. These are all different people in all different eras saying these things. Once or twice, I believe you when you say it's a coincidence, but I'm seeing dozens and dozens of patterns here. So let's talk about what's going to happen now that the Pope just passed away. The St. Malachi prophecy says that he was going to be the last Pope. It coincides with Nostradamus' prophecy about the 7 hills burning. 7 hills in the city will be destroyed. What city has 7 hills? Well, the Vatican City. If we go back in time, who's the Vatican? Who is the Catholic Church? It's the Holy Roman Empire. So the Holy Roman Empire is finally collapsing? Saint Peter, the apostle of Jesus, was the first pope. He was also crucified like Jesus, but he was crucified upside down. In fact, the upside down cross is the cross of Saint Peter. The prophecy of Saint Malachi says that the last pope is Peter of Rome. This is a full circle prophecy now. He says that there will be 112 popes before the last judgment, but it doesn't mean the end of the world. It means that after the 112th pope, Pope Francis that just passed away, there's going to be a period of anarchy, and this will lead to the downfall, the demise of the Roman Catholic Church, but in reality, it's the demise of the Holy Roman Empire.
I like it. I'm here for it. Let it happen. I'm ready for some new beginnings. This is what I keep hearing too with everything. It's like, this is just the end of a cycle. It's not the end of the world. And that's kind of how I feel about like the second coming in Christ now and stuff. Is like maybe just like a second coming of wisdom and change and, you know, good things, and just out with the old, shedding old skin and old things that are no longer serving us, and releasing our demons or the Antichrist or whatever, and becoming more enlightened with ourselves and so on and so forth. So yeah, bring it on, dude. Bring it on. Get the popes out of here. Get the Catholic Church out of here. Fucking weirdos, dude.
I don't exist. So they're all characters that I played, including Jim Carrey, including Joel Barish, including any of those things. They're all characters. Jim Carrey was a less intentional character, right, because I thought I was just building something that people would like, but it was a character. I played the guy that was free from concern so that people who watched me would be free from concern.
I love Jim Carrey. That's all.
They have been lying to you. There used to be a 13th month, but they erased it, leaving us with a false historical timeline. In 1582, Pope Gregory XIII introduced the Gregorian calendar, but this calendar doesn't really make much sense. It was primarily designed to help people remember when to pay their taxes. The word calendar actually comes from calends, an ancient word meaning account book. The months in our current calendar are a complete mess. March is named after Mars, the god of war. July and August are named after Julius and Augustus Caesar, who decided they should each have a month named after them. But this is where it gets scary. The order of the months doesn't make any sense either. Septem means 7, Octo means 8, Novem means 9, and Decem means 10. Instead, the 13-month calendar used by many ancient cultures follows the natural cycles of the moon. It has 13 months each with 28 days, and if you multiply 13 by 28, you get 364 days, perfectly matching the moon's orbit. The 13-month calendar didn't just disappear, it was replaced with one built for control, not the truth. Comment moon below and I'll reveal the name of the lost month.
So they wondered, were humans alone in the galaxy? On one alien world, they found a fossil of a bird-like creature that didn't seem related to the other native life. The native creatures had 3 limbs and copper bones, but this bird had 4 limbs and calcium bones. It seemed related to an extinct dinosaur from Earth. So how the hell did this extinct Earth animal end up on this distant alien world? Some people thought God must have done it, and there was a resurgence of religion. But others thought aliens did it, that there must be some civilization out there who had spaceflight and bioengineering millions of years before humans even had fire. Humanity was attacked by a godlike ancient species called the Q. They were galactic nomads who constantly migrated through space, and they had a fanatical religious mission to remake the universe.
The Grand Canyon is not just an American sightseeing location, there are dark secrets that lie within. Some have even encountered a gateway to a hidden world. In 1909, the Arizona Gazette published an article about an expedition funded by the Smithsonian. This expedition was led by a man named G.E. Kincaid, and he discovered an ancient underground city within the Grand Canyon. But here is where it gets interesting. This city was filled with artifacts from ancient Egypt, hieroglyphs, statues, and even a pyramid. How did ancient Egyptian relics end up in Arizona over 5,000 years ago? Is it possible that they had access to flight? But it gets even stranger. The Smithsonian seized all the artifacts and shut down any further exploration, which led to 90% of the Grand Canyon being restricted till this day. The canyon is home to numerous hidden caves and tunnels, many holding ancient treasures and technologies. Many adventurers used to report seeing strange lights and sounds coming from these depths. The Hopi tribe, native to the region, speak of sacred underground cities known as the Sipapu. These cities are believed to be gateways to the underworld, holding powerful energies that should never be disturbed. All this makes us wonder what else is hiding in the Grand Canyon.
Maybe that's why the Europeans came here to the Americas in the first place. That would be super interesting if that was the case. Like, we like explored here to like look for more like technology and stuff. Like, have we always been doing that? Like, forever? You figure like in ancient times they were super like big on technology and learning and advancement, and like the Egyptians that stumbled upon the pyramids, and like they just throughout history humans love learning and evolving and progressing. Like, we're basically created to learn, right? To explore. It makes me wonder if like, were they looking to take over land or looking for gold or like riches, or was it like the US military going to like Iraq or all these places to supposedly find technology? Like, I don't know. Now, let me know what you think. I'm at a loss for words right now. I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. Nope.
Terrestrial observers on their historic moon mission, declassified transcripts and astronaut confessions suggest we may not have been alone out there. So, Apollo 11 wasn't just about planting flags and taking giant leaps for mankind. It also came with one of the weirdest astronaut UFO sightings in history. Picture this. Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, and Michael Collins are cruising toward the moon, just minding their own business, when they see something outside their spacecraft. It's not a star, it's not space junk. At least nothing they recognized. And it's definitely following them. Buzz later confirmed in interviews that they saw something, and that's when things got really interesting. See, the astronauts were smart. They didn't want to blurt out, Houston, we've got a UFO, over an open channel. Instead, they casually asked Mission Control where the Saturn V's third stage SIVB was. NASA checked and said, oh yeah, that thing's about 6,000 miles away, meaning whatever was outside their window, not theirs. Instead of pressing the issue, the Apollo 11 crew went eerily quiet. Maybe they didn't want to start a global freakout.
After landing, Nathan and Ben whip out a few handheld cameras to document the mission, while also setting up some cameras at the location of their lander, alongside the flag of the United States of America. They mess around and have some fun before starting the actual mission. Next, Nathan and Ben take out the PSD-5, and while they are doing that, a strange interference occurs in the video and the audio transmissions, while the power in the lander also fluctuates where they are supposed to set up the PSD-5. The two astronauts set up another camera at the location of the PSD-5 and collect some moon rock samples. Ben reports that the rock sample feels very strange. Footage from the camera shows one of the rocks in the back, near a crater, moving by itself, unbeknownst to both astronauts. Interference occurs once again in the audio and visual streams, and Nathan is a little curious about its source. The two astronauts return to the lander, deposit the samples into a container, and call it night. As the astronauts are sleeping, loud shrieking, clicking, and scratching noises are heard over the radio, which wake them up. They ask Mission Control if this could be some kind of interfering signal from the PSD-5, and they say they will ask the Department of Defense if it is possible. The astronauts go back to sleep. While they sleep, the camera outside the lander spots another moon rock moving by itself. The astronauts wake up, and while they prepare for another day out on the moon...
You son of a bitch. I hate when videos cut out like that. Absolutely hate when videos cut out like that. I'm trying to learn more about the astronauts, bro. I want to know what they know. I want to know what they saw. These damn clickbait videos, dude. Just messing it up for me. Screwing things up.
Something is going on. Like, I don't know, but I think that we shifted into another dimension. Now, listen to this. So, I was looking at a world map today, and I'm like, wait a second. Like, all these countries are completely in a different place. Like, look at where South America is. South America has always been under North America, and now it's in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Look at New Zealand. Look at some of these other islands and where they are. You can't tell me that this map wasn't different 5 years ago. Okay, so I started going down the rabbit hole, and I looked at Home Depot. right? I go there all the time. I was there a couple weeks ago. Except it's not called Home Depot. It's called the Home Depot. Yeah, there's a "the" in front of the Home Depot. King Tut, right? We all learned about him in school, and we seen that famous mask, right? That's solid gold that he wears. What's on the top of it? A giant cobra. Nope. There isn't one. Okay? There is a cobra, but it's to the right, and there's also another vulture on the other side. It's completely different. Think about Scary Movie 2. My favorite line to say is, "Take my strong hand." Except he never says that. Now he says, "Take my hand." If you don't believe me, look it up for yourself. Like, something is going on. We've shifted into another dimension.
So some of those, yes, I think I remember South America kind of being an offshoot a little bit, like it is in this photo he shared. King Tut, I'm indifferent on. I'm definitely seeing like depictions of him growing up, and a lot of it in like movies and shows and stuff, which could be wrong. You know, it could be depicted wrong in shows and things, cartoons specifically, whatever. But I know ancient Egyptians were really big on symmetry, and it bothers me in my OCD seeing the two little things, you know, the cobra and the vulture. So I'm sure it has meaning and significance to them, to where it would be like two things like that, like kind of off-centered. But I don't know, in my mind, I would assume that they would have like something more symmetry between the two, because it even threw me off, and I don't care as much, you know, about symmetry as the ancient Egyptians did. But I definitely remember "Take my strong hand," and I don't remember it being the Home Depot. I just remember Home Depot. So I don't know. The Mandela effect is wild. It never ceases to amaze me. It's always something throwing me off and making me question reality. A bit of a mind with this video. But let me know what your favorite Mandela effect is. Like, what are you absolutely positive is wrong from the way it's being told and portrayed right now? Let me know in the comments. If you had fun today, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, interact with us, send me some stuff that you want me to see. Let me know what you want to see in the next video, and until next time, peace.